Okay, let's do some laps so we can get an understanding of what this car's doing. I'm going to start off with the loose because that's generally my preference. I like the rear to be sliding on the way out, and I blame karting for that. The tires are set to automatic by weather, and I see it's put the Firestone alternate on, which means it's going to be the softer tire than the primary. Track temperature is about 35, so that should be okay for the softer tire. I'm going to run that fuel, do a couple of laps, and let's see what happens. Okay, just remember the speeding in the pit box. And the other thing is just stay to the right hand side of this yellow line. There it is, all the way to the end here, or else it will give you a what's that? A warning for cutting the pit exit. So also just put my tire on that curve just to see how the car reacted. Car was pretty stable through there. I was a little bit surprised there. I thought it might snap a bit. Braking at the 300 marker there, because that's generally where I would brake on the GT3, and here we can go up to 200. Tires are still cold, Dylan. Easy. Okay, so I might just need another sighting lap. So on this one, the braking at 400 from a GT3 car, but we braked way too early, so we'll go 350 next time. Out to the red marker, little coast in here, down to second, then right at the end here, you want it to go into first, just to help rotate that car in. You want to stay wide, you want to just feed it easy and gently, just to get closer and closer to the wall until it straightens out. Let's see, 400 meter mark, hold on the brake, down to third. We might be able to carry a little bit more speed as you leave that wall, down to second, down to first, help the car rotate. Little tap into second. At the black marker. Ooh. So I see as I'm going to get faster through that little section, the car's going to be bouncing a little bit more. Let's go 300. Okay, so we could go about 275 there. So yeah, we'll brake at 200. Okay, that was way too late. So I'm going to brake at about 220. Just remember you're carrying a little bit more speed. So here we're going to brake at 350 now, just to see what's happening. Okay, that's about right now. Coast it out to the red line, touch the brakes, just let the car coast in. As you finish that curb, let the car rotate in. Okay, so tires up to temperature, but I can really see that they're wearing away. So these tires are definitely not going to last 25 laps. Okay, we're hard on the brakes at 350. We're going to turn in and we're going to take some of the curb with us. Down into third, take the curb, car's pretty stable. Right at the end, gear down into first, help the car rotate, here into second. With a black marker. Down to second, so that's pretty decent, happy with that. Okay, now remember we're going to go 275, down into third, and just easing the throttle as we come out the corner here, 220. See my skid marks there, pretty funny. 350. I might be able to carry a bit more speed there. So here I'm going to go down into second, and just as we're going to turn in, hit the first, you see that nicely that car rotates around that hairpin. Get the power on nice and early, let's go speeding down the start finish, and a 108.1. Okay, so just looking at the setup, I've kept the tire pressure pretty much the same. Where the changes have come in, sorry, you can see that the brake ducts have changed. I've dropped those down. I'm running full downforce front and back. I have dropped the front of the ride height down to 25 and increased the spring rate. The rear I've kept the same, and I've actually increased the spring rates on the rear as well, just to give me a little bit more stability coming out of the corner, because I'm also then compensating for the softer third spring on the rear. I've then dropped the anti-roll bar as well, so that I'm getting a little bit more front end turn in on the accelerator. The car's going to tend to want to oversteer without the rear snapping out. On the dampers, I've increased the fast bumps here to as much as I go, just to start balancing the front and the rear together. We might just need to increase that one just a little bit, just so that they're moving at the same rate. And then your engine, I haven't changed the radiator, I've kept that the same. And the differential I have not touched, because I quite like the feel that I'm having. Let's see what I can do. So the fastest I have done on the loose setup was a 107.8. I did just on about 15 laps, just getting used to the car and to figure out what it is that I wanted it to be doing, until I got that setup that I had now. Oh, that was very close to that wall. But yeah, you want to just keep it in second gear. Here we're going to go up to third on the black line. Just brake, turn it in, keep it in third, and just ease that throttle. We're going to brake just past the 300. We're going to turn in, and also again just squeezing that throttle just before the 200. We're going to stay in third gear. Get some heat in those tires. 300. Just take that inside curve, aim for the little red line at the outside, nice and tight. Then here I'm going down to second. Then right just before we're turning in, I'm going down to first, just to help rotate the car. The car is nice and stable over that bump, which I'm very happy about. Down to first. Just back down to second. Now we're going to go into third, keep it in third, just slow get the car down on the power. I lost a little bit of the rear there. Just past 300. Down to third, straight back on that power, nice and quickly. Don't think I should have gone down to second there. You see I'm already half a second off my fastest lap time, because that was a 106.9. Let's see if we can make it up through this section here. And right at the end, just let it rotate. Okay, now the tires should be up to temperature. See if we can make up that time. And we're aiming for a 106.9 is my fastest to date. Oh, that was beautiful. Just before we're turning in, down to first, keep it in second. Car was a little bit unstable there, just past that black line. Keep it in third, keep the power down. Past the 300, down to third, power. We're going to go just before 200. It's going to down to third. You can see now I put the power on how that nose just straightens out nicely. Now we're waiting for 300. There it is. Right at the end there, just down that extra gear. Just going to let the car rotate around. Down to first. On the power. And across the line. And I do a 106.8, so I'm very happy with that, which means the setup that I've done is I did manage to find myself an extra second